Peace, family. You know, at this point in this so called civil rights era, I'm of the mindset now that it's not about supporting the government that you have. It's more about supporting the government that you deserve. And the only type of government that you deserve is the one that you have built and designed to support your way of life, not nobody else's. Now, here we are, 6 months into Donald Trump's administration, and he's talking about this big announcement he's going to make to address this Russia issue in Ukraine. This is what he had to say. Watch this.
I would like to see it end. It wasn't my war, it was Biden's war. It's not my war. I'm trying to get you out of it. And we want to see it end. And I'm disappointed in President Putin because I thought we would have had a deal 2 months ago, but it doesn't seem to get there. So based on that, we're going to be doing secondary tariffs if we don't have a deal in 50 days. It's very simple. And they'll be at 100%. And that's the way it is. That can be more simple. It's just the way it is. I hope we don't have to do it. But regardless, we are going to be, we make the greatest military equipment in the world, whether it's missiles. You saw that recently in Iran, the way those planes flew in. They had every single, 14 bombs hit every target. Then you had the helicopters shoot a total of 30 bombs, 30 missiles. And they hit every single, Marco, is that right? Every single piece, every single target. And it was, I guess, on a scale of 0 to 10, they said.
You know, I can't even listen to no more of that nonsense. This man cannot stay on topic for nothing. Now here we are 6 months into his administration. He said that he could fix this Ukraine-Russia problem in 1 day. We are now 6 months into his administration. And this big announcement that he said that he was going to have to address this issue is to give Russia another 50 days to come up with an agreement. If you are capable of fixing these complex problems in 1 day, why are you speaking in 50 days after you have spent 6 months addressing this issue? So how much of a liar was Donald Trump when he campaigned for this administration, for this position? 50 more days? And then you start talking about the weapons and the bombs and all this other stuff, as if you're going to actually use this or have the potential to use this on Russia. This is your great negotiator. This is the guy that's doing all these 90 deals in 90 days with different countries, which in itself was a bald-faced lie. There's no way on earth anybody, well, let me just put it like this. There's no way on earth a president of the United States is going to negotiate 90 trade agreements with 90 different countries in 90 days. You're giving 1 day of negotiation per country. And everybody's going to sign off in it, and you're giving them all 1 day. How is that possible? You have 90 different countries, 90 different populations, 90 different needs, and how on earth can you negotiate with 90 different entities in 90 days and have 90 agreements and don't have a single stumble or trip with none of them? This tells you how this man has blatantly lied. I knew it was a lie the second I heard this deal. There's no way. You can't even come up with 90 different agreements with 90 different people, let alone 90 different countries. Everybody gonna sign on board? Nobody gonna hold out for to see if they can better they did? Nobody. And then you talking about you can solve problems in 1 day before you before you got elected for president. And now that you are president, now you saying you need another 50 days. Like I say, at this point in the civil rights movement, it is not about supporting the government that you have. It's about supporting the government that you deserve. And the government that you deserve is one that prioritizes the welfare and well-being of its citizens. And this country has, left or right, Republican or Democrat, has not served the interests of black people in this country, period. And you just elected a fool for President of the United States who blatantly lies. And you think that our salvation is going to come into this system? Like I say, this is why I don't hold conversations with MAGA supporters or people who support Donald Trump. Because if you can't start the conversation off by saying, yes, I agree that this is the dumbest president this country or any country has ever had in the history of Earth, there's no need to have no further discussion with him. If you can't acknowledge that, after this man's, and I don't care what your opinion of Donald Trump was before he became president, the time this man took Oval Office, you cannot sit here and tell me that this man exudes confidence, competence, and consistency, which is needed for a president of any organization. United States, Boy Scout, Girl Scouts, Union, whatever. This man exudes none of that. And like I said, and can't even stay on topic. This is ridiculous.